Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Joseph Show, Sans Faust TV Studios. I owe him a lot of money. I'm hiding out from him. I came over here to my buddy Tim Weichselbaum's house, who will be my guest for this episode. And once I get the money, then I'll pay Gary back, and I'll probably be back to that studio, or I'll be starting my own studio. This is the greatest podcast that ever was. I never wanted to do it, but people told me that I should do it because they're like, you know, you're really good at everything, and I was like, I know. And so so this is what it is, you know. And I promise you, I'm trying to get some OnlyFans girls on here. They just, for some reason, never answer my messages. It's for some reason.
Damn. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're on. Tim Weichselbaum is from Chicago originally.
I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. Chicagoland.
Suburbs.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're a comedian. You've been doing it for like 8 years, right?
Actually, yeah, more than that. 9 and going on 10.
Wow. 9 or going on 10. So once you hit 10 years, then supposedly you're a real comedian, they say.
That's a good thing. We could pick apart the whole term real comedian. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it's bullshit, in my opinion. Nowadays, like, you know, that's from like it's an antiquated measurement that they derived from the situation back in the 90s, early 2000s of people, how long it took for them to be funny, and which is really sad actually that it took them that long. But you know, nowadays comedians can just plug into YouTube like the fucking Matrix and be like, I know kung fu, you know, I know crowd work, just because you can plug it into YouTube and watch any kind of comedy you want, and then you can like learn from any comedian. Back then they had to like wait for a comedian to come to town, or they couldn't see much comedy as we can. You know how much content we have pouring through our brains.
Yeah, I'm pissed that you're already good at it. Because you've only been doing it since 2016.
I've been doing it a week. Yeah, I know. I'm amazing.
You bastard.
Well, I started it really at 2016, but like I took a hiatus.
Right.
To do acting.
I know that you didn't really get into it until like 2019, I believe, is what you said.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It's the most uncomfortable benches in the world. My end frame? No. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, 2019, I was trying to I went out to, I was living in Seattle, and I was like then I moved to Florida, and I started like acting in like these little like feature films and like non-union feature films, even though I was in one that was like a really big one that was in the movies. But it was a Bollywood feature film. Apparently there's an actor called Shah Rukh Khan. Have you ever heard of him? No American has, right? So all the background actors or featured actors, the small nobodies, like it was like a background acting part, but I mean, I guess it was featured because I did have a role as, you know, an astronaut trainer. But anyways, it was at a pool at Orlando University of Orlando, whatever. And it's about some like midget that wants to be an astronaut, and he and the place where they initially were going to film it broke, so they decided to rent out the pool in Orlando, and as a place where they they simulate learning how to be an astronaut, like the training and stuff like that. Anyways, and we were watching this guy, and you know the guy from, I guess the guy was on Barefoot Millionaire or Slumdog Millionaire or whatever. He was walking around holding an umbrella over this other Indian dude's head, and fucking Indian students were like crying, screaming, trying to get on to the set, and we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And we looked him up, and he's the second highest paid actor in the world. He's worth like 800 million, maybe more.
The Slumdog Millionaire guy?
No.
Oh.
No, it's Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh,
Shah Rukh Khan is like he is the Rock of India or something, you know, or I guess, but like more, he can play like romance movies too and shit like that. But anyways, we didn't know who he was. I went up to get a drink one time to get a soda, and he was up there, and this little guy's like, "You must not get too close to Shah Rukh Khan." And I was like, because I was like gonna go over there and shake his hand and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "All right, whatever." And I guess Shah Rukh saw that I didn't really care, and he's like, "He can come." And then the midget was like, "Shah Rukh wants to see you." So I met him a couple of times. But yeah, people were in love with him. Anyways, then I moved. I decided to go to LA to act because I was taking acting classes, and I went through a breakup, and it was just there was nothing to stay there for. And my acting coach was like, "You guys don't know what it's like to do LA acting. That's real acting." And I was like, "Fuck you, I'll do that shit." And I go out there, and it was just no after no after no, and all it was just like some auditions, but mainly acting classes. And I was like, this is gay, giving fucking these guys that were like on TV series like a while ago money to teach me how to act when I was a natural already. I already knew how to do it better than them. And then I was like, this is gay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I went to improv to check out Groundling's improv, and that was really gay. I was like, fuck this, dude, these people sucked. And then I just left, and I remember doing stand-up when I was 2016, and I was like, I want to try that shit again. And it was always in the back of my mind, I should try stand-up again. And finally I found a place called Fourth Wall, and I started doing it every day. It became like my thing, and it opened up more doors than anywhere. But it took me probably 7 months before I started figuring it out.
7 months is nothing in the comedy world, in the path of trajectory. It takes a long time for most people to get even slightly good at it.
Well, I think it was the writing, and everything came together because it was like I have a literature degree, and like I wasted my time in college. You know, I am a slave to the government because of college. All I did was write in getting my degrees. And so I was used to writing. I understood language very well. And then acting, I understood persona and how people perceive me. And then and when I was a little kid, I studied like theater acting. So I was fine with theater. It all just came together where it was easier for me. And I'm nowhere. I don't feel like I'm where I want to be as far as like the comic I want to be. Like I want to be way better always. Like writing. I want to write more jokes, and writing more jokes is what kills me. Coming up with inspiration. How do you write jokes?
I just stay up super late until my brain becomes like in this.
I'm just gonna sit straight ahead.
So it takes me a while to get into the writing mindset. Like it's a creative mindset that I have to get into. It takes me hours, but then once I'm in it, it's hard to go out of it, and I just it stays me awake. Keeps me awake all night. I'll be like, okay, I got another one. I can't go to sleep. I got to write this down. And next day I look at it. Like, if it's still funny the next day, then it's probably funny.
Do you do that every day?
Not even close to every day. I just don't have I can't do it every day.
Well, that's why you can't be jealous of someone who's you feel.
I'm not jealous. No, I'm not.
I know I'm never jealous, but or you said you hated me, but like
no.
I know you're
happy.
kidding. I know you're kidding.
I'm kidding.
But like you have to do it every day, and you can't. In my opinion, you can't wait to get the inspiration. Like you have to just start writing, even though it's shit, and you write every day, and then it just starts getting. I gotta find the sweet spot. That's good. And then you just start like. Once in a while, the muse shows up. She's like, "You have written and shown me your desire to want my." Comedy pussy juice, and then she just queefs on your fucking paper, and you get like this amazing joke, and but it takes 100 shitty jokes to get there, and it's, but yeah, okay, I might be, but people, there's a lot of comics, I've had my problems though. you know, because of maybe the way I am or who I am.
The reason I don't do it every day is because there's nothing to do every day. If I had a show, I don't know, like writing, there's many types of writing. Like there's thinking of premises, like raw, like new premises. And then there's tidying up existing jokes and extending them and tagging them. I just felt the need to speak up and before you change subjects about writing.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like when people say, oh, you got to do it every day, as if I'm not like working hard enough.
Yeah.
Because it's also because I'm just a fucking depressive loser and I'm very low motivated. But I guess you're right. You should do it every day.
Yeah. Even if you are writing, I don't want to write. I don't want to write. I don't want to write. You're training yourself to do it every day. And then, it's really easy if you think, because it's just 20 minutes out of your day. Every day I tell myself.
That's like exercise. And that's another thing I don't do.
That's another thing I was doing it, but then as soon as you miss 2 days, then you're fucking done.
You're right.
But I don't know. But I'm feeling kind of like sick now because of this personal thing that I'm going through with women.
We're fucking women.
Why do you think women are so like they destroy us inside, Tim? Why do you think they do this to us?
I do talk a lot about that, and I guess women have their own way of looking at. They have different brains, and I don't blame them as a creature, as like a gender, as like a species as a whole. But American women right now are going through a crisis, I think. And they're taking
What is that crisis?
It's kind of like this whole feminism thing started out as a good thing, and then we should give them the right to vote or whatever.
Yeah, we never should have done that.
Well, sure, he could even argue that was a bad idea.
Think about it. We gave them the right to vote, and then what happened? I think it was just a little bit later, the crash of Wall Street. Everything was fine. Actually, what happened was we gave them the right to vote. And then it was like the high 20s, flying 20s, roaring 20s. And then it was just crash of Wall Street.
That was a fun decade,
and that was women's fault.
I don't know. I try not to be too sound like a fucking misogynist, but times were better in the 30s, 40s, 50s for men and women. They knew their place.
In terms of relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just societal norms and like...
Yeah, I mean, that's what
definitely relationships, yeah.
I think there's something to be said.
Not really, yeah. It was more normalized to beat the fuck out of them. Maybe that wasn't that good.
But not all of them did, though. I mean, because it's always looked down as like, oh, those must have been like such stifling, periods for women. They were forced to be in the kitchen and take care of the kids while their husbands were at work, and they couldn't think for themselves or whatever. But I don't think that's how like those women felt. I think those women were really happy to do that. I mean, because most women that are looked down on them, they get to their mid to late 30s and they're like, that's all I want, after just totally.
Nature is designed for women to be, mothers and men to be fathers and defend the household, get food, resources. I can't argue against nature. There's a reason that they're better at that than men. They're better at certain things than men. There's a reason women are nurses more than men.
Yeah.
Teachers. You can fight against it, but there's also a reason that is the way it is.
Well, they even said, like studies show in the Scandinavian countries where it is arguably the most, the most equity exists between men and women, and women still choose to go into the traditional fields
Absolutely.
Of nursing and teaching and stuff like that.
They say there's not enough women in STEM. It's like, well, that's because they don't want to be around. They don't like coding. It's not fun. They're just not naturally inclined to go behind a computer screen.
But they want to be able to do it, though. Even if they don't want to do it, they want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Just because I don't want to build a rocket, I should have the job where I build rockets.
And I've never met a dude that's...
Who cares if people crash? I don't want to do it. I'm bad at it. But I'm a woman and I'm equal to a man, so I should be able to build shitty rockets.
Yeah. They are allowed. No one's stopping them.
That's the mindset.
And no one's stopping them. I've never heard like a STEM guy be like, I would never hire I don't want a woman around me when I'm busy coding.
I would do that if I was a coding guy. I was like, sorry, no women. I heard Tom Petty. He was like... When Stevie Nicks was like, I want to join the band. He's like, no girls allowed. And he hung up the phone.
I mean, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. I know he got pissed or something. He wrote a song that he wanted. He was like, he gave her the main credit for "Stop Dragging My Heart Around." Great song, and it was a great duet.
Yeah.
So maybe he is a toxic asshole for being that way. I don't know. I don't care. I love Tom Petty. I love toxic masculinity.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But like, I don't know. I grew up with 3 women, my sisters and my mom, and you see that they're just people, really.
Of course.
And most guys don't look at women as people. They look at them as things that they want in terms of like they can offer sex. So they get all freaked out when they talk to women. When I go to a woman, I know she just took a shit that morning. You know what I mean? I know that she has like a bloody vagina once a month and she leaves her tampon paper all over the floor in the bathroom. I know that about her, and I know she's a fucking cunt despite how nice she seems, despite how like friendly she seems. I know that's just the facade, all right? I know that she took a fucking million hours just to appear the way she appears right now. You know, it's always just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do.
They're more than just sex objects, obviously. I mean, I look at them at my mature, now that I'm not a kid anymore. I know that they're the key to happiness for a lot of men. Like, they could provide happiness and structure to your life. If you're just a lone man, some of us, we struggle without a nice woman who's like stable to give us like a framework of what life is, what being normal is. Women decide what's acceptable, I think.
Women are the gatekeepers of life, but I don't think they should decide what normal is. They should decide I think, but the thing is like, sometimes you find yourself dating a woman who no matter what you do or say, she writes it off as toxic masculinity, and then at the same time hates you for buckling to it, you know?
Well, that's these days. Like, a real woman wouldn't. I just think there is something to be said about what I would want from a woman would be her to be like, okay, let's decorate the house today. Let's let's do something besides.
They're like birds, you know? They are, because they like build a little nest.
I just know that.
Walk home and they have like shit in their mouth and they're just putting shit, like, you know, building it with their beak.
Sure. I mean, men are good at building the house. They decorate.
But what is the flip side of that? If you fuck up anything, they yell at you or something. You know, there's stress.
The
that comes
ones
with
you
everything.
hang around with.
Yeah, possibly.
Sorry, make it personal. Oh, what are you fucked? But I've been in a healthy one before, and without her, I would have never gone to the zoo or the beach. And like, I remember those days being nice memories. Like, it was a good relationship.
That is true though. Like, they're the ones that are like, "Hey, let's go somewhere," and you're like, "Oh yeah, there is somewhere."
And that raises your stock as a man when they see that you're in a couple. Other people, not just women, just other people respect you more if you're in a healthy, appearing relationship. They're like, "Oh, he's a complete person." That's just how it is. So there is a benefit. So there is a plus side. There's a. We're not just shitting on them.
Yeah,
they do contribute to our happiness, to our lifestyle. But also, there's something to be said about just being a lone guy. Yeah. I'm a lone guy.
Well, there are good times, or aren't there times where you're happy being alone?
Yeah, like it's hard to notice them because I'm surrounded by the negatives. Like, I'm focusing on. It's very easy to get caught up in the loneliness. But of course, it's great to just set my own life plan. Like, anytime I want, I could do a podcast. Like right now.
Yeah.
If I had a wife, I wouldn't be able to do a podcast right now.
Are you sure you want to do it right now? I don't like him. Is he coming over? God, fuck that.
I don't think I would even live with a woman that I was married to.
Yeah.
I would have she would have her own living quarters.
Hold on, I got like people messaging me, telling me some shit. What I wanted to do
your
for
podcast.
What I wanted to do for this.
Could check your phone during your podcast. If it was podcast.
What I wanted to do during this episode actually is read you the article that was written about me.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. And it is called let me see. It's called well, it was basically I was going to do a show at the Riot, and I did do a show at the Riot in Houston Comedy, or Houston Texas, and it was called the Riot Comedy Show. And there's a guy there, a guy that writes for the Houston Press and maybe some other places. If you want to call him a guy, I guess I should refer to him as a the. And the thought it would be very nice to write an article about me, and it was the best compliment I ever received. You know, it was about how my show is just like killing it. You know, how I'm always, you know, on top of things, how I'm diverse, and I'm very open and woke and stuff. It was called like Transphobic Comedy Trash Fire, and it was Rude's yet to host another transphobic comedy trash fire. I just gotta find the thing, and basically he just trashes my fucking show. But this is what you call a liberal, a true liberal, okay? Or not? No, a true liberal is someone who dances in the forest, fucks fairies, and doesn't believe what the government says. These are progressives, people that want to progress to the end of the fucking world. But let's see, Jeff with one F is his name. I'll even give you the last name. Rauner. Jeff with one F, Rauner. All right. And you can see it yourself if you go on HoustonPress.com. And it was printed in, here it is, on May 5th, 2022. And the reason I bring it up now is because it's still, when people book me, they still read this and they're like, hey, is this going to be okay? Are you going to, you know, crucify a trans person on stage? And I'm like, I don't do that anymore. But anyways, it's called Opinion. Roots to host another transphobic comedy trash fire. When you see an advertisement heralding the arrival of dark comedy, and the poster involves people who all pass as white and mostly men, there's 2 chicks on the show, and I guess they could pass for white. I can't believe you used the word pass, this fucking post-colonial bullshit term, like critical theory, that he just wipes his... All right, whatever. You can put your money on the evening being the sort of thing that makes you wish you'd stayed home and attended to an infected wound instead. And this guy, every sentence is a metaphor. That's the sign of a bad writer, when he has to depend on metaphor for every sentence. At least then the bacterial muck ends up in the trash instead of your eardrums. But if you intend to an infected wound, the trash ends up in the bacterial muck ends up in the trash instead of your eardrums. But like, the bacterial are saying, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Jeff. The Riot Presents at Sick Fox is an evening hosted by Los Angeles comedian Ryan Joseph, a man who tells jokes in exactly the same pissy tone of voice that Grackles used to claim ownership of a dropped French fry. What is Grackles?
A bird. It's a scavenger, I guess.
That Grackles used to claim ownership of a drop. Oh, I can see. That's pretty interesting. Like, because no one, great reference. As a writer myself, don't use shit that people don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, Jeff with one F. 5 minutes on his Twister or his Twitter account makes it clear that the demented jester is a shallow, humorless dude with less stage presence than the brick wall behind him. The brick wall, actually, Jeff with one F, is the stage presence of a comedy club, of a stage. When you see a fucking brick wall, that's cool, right? When you see a brick wall, like, that is a quintessential sign of a good room, you know? Have you noticed that? You have the comedy cellar, you have the improvs. The brick wall, comparing my presence to the brick wall was the best compliment you gave me. Anyways, his sets, I'm sure you didn't even watch one, fucking faggot, are these strangely angry performances where he seems to actively hate the audience for showing up, which is coincidentally how I feel about folks who enable bad comedians in their persecution complexes. That's
interesting term. That's an interesting term for it.
Do I act like I hate people for showing up?
I haven't seen you do that. No, not if it's a show that you're like producing. Not if it's like your
Fuck
show.
you guys for showing up at my show and giving me money.
Selling tickets, no.
Since Texas is now actively a transphobic hellscape, if it was Jeff, you would be dead. I'm going to focus on the fact that Joseph and his merry band of Waffle House enthusiasts, we do go to Waffle House after our shows, Jeff. Okay, are you fucking following us? We actually went to Waffle House afterwards. Isn't that strange? He nailed it.
I left by that point, but hey,
He nailed
Waffle
it.
House.
He fucking nailed it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Anyways, they're essentially here to do the propaganda work of the Texas governor like all real outlaws do. That's actually true. I am hired by Governor Abbott to do comedy. I am a spy for Governor Abbott. Joseph's contributions to LGBT comedy include such gems as, these are my Twitter quotes, and maybe these do seem a little bit transphobic. Gender is a word that describes the objective reality that there are two sexes in the human species. Dude, cut your dick off in your own home wearing a mask. That got me fired actually from USC. And retweeting a story about swimmer La Thomas with the caption, LOL, dudes rule, chicks drool. That was from the guy from Legion of Skanks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the guy won the swimming competition, or the woman that was a guy. Don't worry though, he hates cis women too. No, Jeff with one F, when you actually have sex with women, you don't hate them, okay? You just don't respect them. It's a difference, right? Then he did some other quotes. Haters are the best publicists. Thank them for using their platforms to promote your names. Hashtag feminine cancer and hashtag don't believe women. That might look bad, okay? It might look bad a little bit. I was just in a weird mood that day. Quote, or you're just jealous because you've only been stalked by the CPS.
This is one of your tweets still?
That was to a woman that was trying to say weird shit about me, thinking I'm a stalker just because I was outside of her house in a trench coat naked, whistling to myself, I didn't even know her. And then hell hath no wrath than the unfunny woman. Those are pretty good, right?
I like that one.
Yeah. He'll be joined by New York comedian Leonardo Cioni, whose nice reminder that transphobia is an increasingly intersectional endeavor. Okay. She's currently promoting a video where she holds her baby up to the camera and declares him trans. Have you seen that? Oh my God. You'll love it. You guys should check it out. Leonardo Cioni on her YouTube page. And then she makes fun of parents who seek life-saving, gender-affirming care for their kids. Life-saving, gender-affirming care. What is that?
Too fancy of a phrase for me to comprehend right now.
What he's saying is that he's making fun of parents that saves the lives of little babies who want to be a different sex. That's what he's saying.
Dude, all this stuff sounds like horse shit to me right now. I just took mushrooms, man.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling
I'm not going to read all of it, but I just want to let you guys know that does exist. And I don't even know how we got on this subject.
No, I just remember when that came out, and it was cool because you had booked me as a guest spot, and then a bunch of comics dropped out.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid of the article. And I was like, great, I got upgraded to a regular spot. And I was pissed off that I wasn't in the article. They mentioned everyone else.
No, you just mentioned Leonardo.
He did list all the other original comics on the lineup.
No, he just said they all pass as white.
No, I read it. He was at the end.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, he does. He says their names?
I remember.
Oh, The Riot Presents featuring blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
And I was like, oh, man, I wish I was in there. Because I don't take it as a bad thing if there's bad press about somebody in comedy these days, because it's bound to happen.
That's what makes it fun.
If you're doing well at comedy, there's probably going to be angry articles in some no-name newspaper. So okay, it doesn't discourage me. It does the opposite. It encourages me.
I'm not feeling well. I'm actually trying to pretend to be something that I'm not right now on this podcast.
That's fine.
I'm going through a breakup again and again. And
so this podcast is mostly about you.
Yeah.
Clearly.
No, you're here
you
to bounce
asked me
shit off.
one question. How long you been doing stand-up? Yeah. Okay, so me, I got into it by this Indian. Have you heard of Bollywood?
This is the Ryan Joseph Show.
I know. See, I just have a different style of like I usually try to like ask. Focus a little bit on the guest.
We have plenty of time, my friend.
That's cool.
But now I
Sorry
want to
to be a
focus on
dick.
you less.
I'm just on mushrooms. Like, okay, what would Joe Rogan do? He would take over. No, I'm just kidding. Just because this is my house doesn't mean I'm gonna make it about me.
You sure?
But I do like talking about comedy and stuff like that.
Okay, Tim. What is your favorite color?
Color? No, I said yeah.
What is
Sorry.
What is your
Go
favorite
ahead.
color, Tim?
I'll be your bouncy house, or whatever. Your emotional support animal.
I just rant on with guests.
Me too.
I don't want you to be my emotional support animal, my friend. I just rant whenever things come to mind. And
Do
then
you ever write on stage?
sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Do you? Is that where you write?
All the time.
All the time. You know what you said actually about how you don't write every day because you think that there's no show coming up or whatever like that. I find that when I write shows up here, it's like it tells the universe that you're actually putting work in. You know, you gotta put your work in.
I used to do that, but even if I used to do that. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I go through phases.
You've been doing it longer than me, dude.
And so I need a reason to get in the creative mood. And as an artist, I'm the type of person where like I have like surges of creativity. And that's when I get a new 10-minute or minute, however long material. I'll come up with a lot like in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm not like the type of person who's regimented. Like, okay, here's my 30 minutes of writing.
Yeah.
I'm like that dude. I'm like fucking Vincent Van Gogh. One day I'll be here in my house. Next day I'll be fucking driving down the road in my Tesla with my ear cut off, and I'll think of a genius joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just comes to me. But if I chase after it, then I could get in the zone.
But if you're like Vincent Van Gogh, you can't paint the painting if you're thinking about it. If you're writing,
I shouldn't compare myself to him.
Yeah.
But I'm just more like sporadic is what I'm trying to get at.
I know what you're saying. You're waiting for the muse to happen.
Yeah. You know, I
And-
could chase after it. I'm very temperamental.
I know. I just feel from the successful artists that I've talked to, and I'm not talking about just comedians. It's people that I've talked to musicians that are successful. I've talked to sculptors. I've talked to, it's like you have to put in the work, and that's work. They call it work because if you wait for the muse, then it's fun because you're inspired and stuff. The work is doing it even though you don't fucking want to. You know, the work is driving a fucking Pflugerville when you don't want to.
No, absolutely.
You know?
And I do that sometimes.
So
I put in the work sometimes.
yeah, but don't get me wrong. I missed a day or two myself, but So how many brothers and sisters do you have, Tim?
I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought your sister was hot?
Good question. I think she's okay on it. Like everybody probably thinks like about that thought at least once in their life. You know.
I don't
objectively.
Sure they do.
Do you have many sisters?
I have 2 sisters. One died.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but never really thought they were hot. I think there's like this force field that stops you from thinking that.
Right, of course, but there's a thought of like, what is society like?
Now, when it comes to cousins, that's different. Cousins,
yeah,
they're fair game.
It's a little different, especially if there's like if they're third cousins or whatever. If they're barely blood related,
First
who gives a
cousins,
fuck?
man, that makes
okay.
They have to be first cousins because that makes it way hotter.
I know I don't have any of those.
Because if it's a third cousin, it's not that like dangerous. You know, that's just like, you know. So what? Whatever. But the first cousin is like, oh, we shouldn't do this. But we should. Why not? You do have a different mom, but you have the same dad. Fuck me.
You know, they call Americans on the internet, they call us Amerimuts because we're all kind of mixed. There's no pure blood Americans anymore.
Yeah, it's because like the English and all the Europeans are retarded because they come from fucking dynasties where they all practice incest.
Do you think that's a good thing? Like, because we do get people make fun of us on the internet for that, for being mutts.
Whatever, dude. We have America is the shit, not the government.
It's not a bad thing to not be inbred, I guess. But
No, I mean, if you want to get a dog, you want to get a dog that's a dirty old mutt from the pound.
mm-hmm.
You do not want to get a fucking purebred dog because they are going to have problems. Their mom was forced to fuck their brother, and it's just going to come out with like two hearts or some shit.
Yeah, some people care about that with the dogs. Dogs are a great metaphor or comparison for humans with when it comes to like race. Like dogs are definitely different races.
Do you think dogs are racist to other?
Yeah, like a
other
Chihuahua is clearly a different fucking race than a German Shepherd.
Do you think that the Chihuahuas are like, look at those fucking German krauts?
Yeah, there's probably internal racism among dogs. Yeah, in dog breeds.
The thing about
fucking wiener dog.
Racism is like, I think racism is when not is to hate other races is not natural, but racism in order differentiating the reason why we even have the notion of race is just because we look into, like, when we walk into a room, we automatically, our brain categorizes chair where I will sit, table where I will put this down, floor where I will walk. Like, we do that in order to filter in the stimuli that's coming into our eyes,
Mm-hmm.
or else we would go crazy. So that's why it's okay to say the N-word.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you got there very quick.
Yeah, that's
you quickly became, you justify, yeah.
That's my reasoning. Have you ever said the N-word on stage?
Yeah, not in a hard R though. That takes balls. That takes.
Dude, I used to go to this fourth wall, I used to go to this open mic, and they would do that late at night. They would just go crazy and say, like, it was like we would burn crosses and shit, and it was crazy, like lynch people. Yeah, it was insane. It was like a little party, but
people challenge you to say shit up there sometimes. You just have to do it. Like if you're in a room, just say it. You better.
I could say it if I wanted to. I would say it if I wanted to. I would not give a fuck. But like, I'm more of my aesthetic. I'm like trying to do my jokes. I don't.
You don't like to riff too often.
Well, I like. It's always scary doing crowd work, right? But it's
not always.
It's necessary though.
I feel like sometimes you get derailed by it. Maybe you just don't like being when you have to go out of your act because you have such a precise. Your act is so like the words are so critical or crucial that if you cover a topic, I don't know. That's just one of my understandings of like if you don't want to go down a path that's not planned out because it might spoil the rest of the show or something.
No, like I start doing crowd work when I notice that the jokes aren't hitting. Because the thing is like I could do my jokes, right? I could do bam, 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 but it gets boring. The tone, even if they're good jokes, you can't just do bam, hit, bam, bam. And I've noticed that, and it's like then you have to switch up the tone, the inflection, and sometimes you have to talk to the crowd, and then you can blend your jokes into the crowd work by asking them something to base the joke off of. And
I've seen you do that, and you're very good at that.
I want to ask you though, seriously, this one question: why do you you kind of take on when you perform this what's the guy's name I'm thinking about?
Sebastian?
No.
Good.
No,
I was waiting for that.
What was the dude's name that was like really big back in the day? And he was like,
Dice.
Yeah, you kind of take on a Dice ass.
Yeah, absolutely. His cadence.
Yeah, why do you do that? You think?
I don't know why. I just know that I've been doing that since I started. It's just a fun.
It works and it's funny.
And
and it's not a rip off of him, but it reminds me of like because you use like this New York bravado when you're on stage
for sure,
and it's hilarious.
It comes out when I'm trying to deliver a joke.
Yeah. Well, that's good though, because it's like,
hey, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
It's important, I think, to know your persona on stage, and if you found that to be your persona, and that works for you, it does work.
It works. See, because people do give me shit for it. like say, oh, you sound too similar to this guy, Sebastian or whatever. I go, yeah, but it works. Like
Yeah.
if you did it, it would probably not work, and you would look like a loser. You would bomb. I do it not consciously thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna sound like Sebastian. Just how I fucking talk,
Yeah.
and it works. So it became a habit.
Yeah.
It's organic though.
Yeah. If I say what works. Sometimes
Yeah.
have you ever like said a joke and you're like, why does this joke work? And it works.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
It's like,
still have to say it now.
what are you
'cause it
gonna do?
works.
Throw it in the trash? Like, yeah, you should always take note of what works. That's how you become a better comic. Like you have a bigger, deeper drawer you could pull shit out of.
One time, I wrote down that dick pics joke like as like a little scribble, as a little fun thing, never thinking it would be a joke. And then I decided to say it one day, and it worked. And I was like, "What?" And I kind of like don't like that it works. And I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of saying my jokes, dude. I need to like. That's why I want to put out like this little album I have, and it's just audio. But then I don't have to say the same jokes anymore ever again. And I just, yeah.
It's so hard to ditch jokes if you're in your first decade, because I can only speak from somebody who's about a decade in, and I'm barely whatever. It's super hard to ditch your jokes if you're only a decade. If you haven't gotten used to doing that, it's
Yeah.
a fucking threshold, because you never know. You'll always be like, okay, I'm never doing that joke again.
Yeah.
Then you get booked for a longer set. It's like, nah, it's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming back.
you're gonna do what you gotta do,
Even if it's on an
stage.
album,
If
yeah.
you're put into a corner, and you're like, people are like making
If
me
it
laugh,
works
and you're
still.
like, fuck. But
That's why it's so
yeah.
hard to do that. That's why you got to respect the people that can do that, like Tom Segura,
That what do they do?
that ditch material and actually ditch it for good.
Yeah,
Like Tom Segura
Jeselnik does that too.
never. Yeah, there's plenty that do, and you got to. That's another threshold that separates
But
the
they
amateurs.
do. But they do that after they create a special.
yeah,
You know, that's when it always
Yeah,
leads up
of
to
course.
the special. And once the special's out, then they start over.
That's the business model.
Yeah. And so when you haven't had a special come out, when everyone doesn't know you for these jokes yet, then there's no point, you feel like, because you might as well say them if they work, and it's a new crowd, new audience.
That's such a hard thing to. That's why there's so few people like that. Like, there's so few Tom Seguras on the planet.
I thought Tom Segura, though, like, his last special was kind of weak. He seems to be...
I didn't see it. Yeah.
No, to me, he seems to have gotten lazy, where he's like, oh, I'm Tom Segura, I don't need to try as much. And
It's another discussion, the whole career arc thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm in the basking in my success
Yeah.
phase of my career.
Rogan's not like that. Rogan's fucking...
Never?
No, Rogan's fucking... He just doesn't know how to stop, and he's just, like, constantly
Yeah.
grinding and trying to get better and better and better. But, like, Tom Segura, he's just, like... seems to have been like, well, I made it to this far, so might as well, it doesn't matter. He even admitted, like, he only goes to the comedy stores just so he can see his friends. It's like,
hey,
I mean,
he has no other reason to go. I mean,
well,
if
I mean, if
selling
he
out
doesn't love
theaters,
comedy that
selling out
much in
stadium.
order to, like, go to work on his craft, like, some people look at it as an art where it's like, you want to get better and better.
Yeah.
I don't know what Rogan told me his intentions are to get better, but I think, he's a really competitive person. He looks at it as there's a competitive element to his comedy. That's why he's always trying to, like, get the best special out, get the best, you know, and he saw me and he was like, fuck, this guy's the best, and he, like, doesn't mess with me anymore. But, like, he's always looking for the best.
I just like doing it. Like, I'm terrible at promoting myself. I don't even like to ask for guest spots.
I'm
horrendous at that part of it, but I just know I love doing it. I'm a performer at heart, and even karaoke, like, I need to do something in front of people to feel validated as a person, so I'll always do it, you know.
It's the only thing that makes me feel alive. Like, right now,
Yeah, totally.
I'm going through a breakup, and the only time that I get relief is when I perform.
It's when it stimulates me to be like, okay, now I can relax. Now I can enjoy the rest of my day and actually feel
Because
like
it's your meaning. And, well, if it's your purpose, a man should have his purpose. A woman's too, I suppose, even though her purpose should be in the kitchen. A man's purpose should come first. And so if you're hung up about a chick and you're broken up and everything, that sucks. And you can't get your brain out of it. You can't fix a broken brain with a broken brain. But when you go on stage and you say some jokes and it, like something shifts, and it's all about action in life. I think action, like you can't think your way out of shit, but if you act your way out of it. So like, what can I do to that's different that my brain has to follow along, you know? And that's where I always get stuck up on is like, my brain wants to fix itself when it can't. It doesn't know how. My brain's the reason I'm in the fucking problem I'm in, you know?
It's not, I mean, I know you're in pain and you're going through like something where you're just going through, like you probably are just have this emotional pain clouding, just following you wherever you go.
Yeah.
And it's, how do you get out of that? Yeah, you exercise.
Action.
I'm glad you're not an alcoholic. That's the one. That's one of the.
Yeah.
That's why we get along. I'm only hanging out with people now that don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
So I stopped drinking, and so I'm. You know, we still have problems.
You have
but
more
at least
problems.
We don't fucking drink.
Do you do anything else besides mushrooms?
Yeah, not really. I'm trying to get healthy and be like better at stuff that. I don't do much weed anymore. Mushrooms. That's it, pretty much.
Where are your parents?
Chicago still.
Are they proud of what you're doing?
It comes and goes. Like
They're like, hey, today I'm kind of proud of you.
They don't follow me. They don't follow what I'm doing, but they also are not ashamed of it. They're neutral. They're apathetic.
Do they just look at it as... See, my dad's always looked at mine as like, yeah, whatever. Make sure
That's
you're
what I don't like. I don't like the apatheticness. I'd rather have them hate me.
Well, dude, my dad came to a show in Naples and he saw all the girls there and he saw like how they're all asking for pictures afterwards and he saw the club. Then he understood. He's like, boy, why you hung up on one chick when there's all these girls around? And I'm like, I love her. I love her, Dad.
Oh, that's such a good poetic thing about being a stand-up is like... It's distraction. Like you could like even dude, I was at a Red Band show, and some chick came up to him afterwards, like, "You're so funny."
It's a Red Band.
It's a Red Band, and he was like, "Yeah, cool." And then he went right back to talking to me about crypto, about Dogecoin. So she felt like, oh, because I know that he gets that all the time. Like it's just a matter of time.
Well, he's got a girlfriend. And,
of course,
and that could have been his strategy.
Of course, he has a girlfriend. So and also he's probably used to that though. And
I don't think
it's.
I've seen Red Band kill. Actually,
he did great.
I've seen him kill, but I've seen him bomb, and I can't say anything about it whatsoever.
He's a stand-up. I don't know. Like I look up to him, and like
I think he's got some really funny, fucked up, dirty blue material.
Yeah.
But I don't know him that well.
His funniest moment was when he cracked himself up, when he was laughing at something that happened in the crowd, because he has the best, most infectious laugh, and that's what I love about stand-up is spontaneity. Whenever something unplanned happens, I don't give a fuck about jokes. Like you have good jokes, where I could those are great jokes, but I love when shit happens randomly.
I love to write a joke that's so well, that's so good that people talk about it and people remember it. That's what I want people to remember is the writing. I don't know why. Yeah. I just love writing. I always have since I was a kid. But back to like speaking of crypto and Dogecoin, it's fucking down. Bitcoin's down to 27,000, dude.
I see that was written down on your printer paper.
Yeah, I want to know more about it.
Topic was coming.
I want to know about it. Like, is it like what do you? Because you know about it, and it's like it went down to 27,000. Is this a good time to get in?
See, I don't even know where it's at. That's how little I follow it. When the market's down, I don't pay attention to it because it's down. Because I'm not investing right now. I've already invested everything I can. So I'm just holding right now.
So there's no point in just, you'll get depressed if you see how low you're...
Sure, and yeah, I'm already psychologically, I'm already subconsciously aware that it's down.
Yeah.
I am pretty down about it.
So you don't look at it at all?
This is not at all. I'm hibernating right now as an investor.
Is there any coins that you think might get big?
But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, this would be a time to be thinking about if you have liquid cash that you're trying to invest, I would be watching for an entry point. But it might keep slipping down even more. So I don't fucking know.
Do you think it'll ever go away? You know, I guess no one will
Crypto?
know. Yeah.
It probably won't ever go away because it's just one of those things.
Well, how is the market now? Sorry, I'm getting
The market is bad, but
like
it's
the whole market, not crypto, but just like
the whole market is bad. Yeah, for everything.
So you could go on there
Inflation.
and you could put in like some what is it called? Put options on everything,
Yeah.
and you could probably make a killing, right?
If you time it right. With crypto, yeah, I don't know, but for the market, sure. There's people.
I think I'm gonna do that, dude. I used to during the fucking pandemic. I used to like trade options. I was making good money.
Yeah, I've heard that people that know what they're doing with that they know it. Yeah, I've never done
Puts
that.
are always the best way because everything comes down. Not everything goes up, but everything comes down. Even if it's going up, it comes down. And what I would do is like I would like the biggest, but I would buy call options, but I would look for like the big, most reliable stocks like Apple or whatever, and I would watch the pattern. And as soon as Apple started going down, I put a fucking option on it, and it would go up. But my problem is that I wouldn't get out in time, you know, because I get greedy. I'm like, oh, I made 300, not 400.
That's the
Take
thing
it out,
about
and then you could have
investing.
made like 5,000. You know,
Of course. I mean, you got to have a strategy. The professional traders, they don't just trade on emotions. They have a rigid strategy that they stick to.
Yeah.
They don't care. Okay, if they lose, they go, okay, the strategy, you just got to trust the strategy or change it. You don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about the individual trades. Like, okay, I'm sticking to the strategy. That's just one of the things I learned from investing.
One thing right now would be good is like iron butterflies on Bitcoin, or if you can, I don't even know if you can do options on Bitcoin.
Not quite. Maybe some, but I wouldn't even think about it.
You know
It's
about
too,
options,
too
right?
risky. Generally, yeah, the gist of it.
Yeah,
You-
that's how. What's his name? The guy that used to own Yahoo, or what was his name? Mark.
Oh yeah, Mark Cuban.
That's how he made all his money because he
Yeah.
had all his stock in Yahoo, and he bet against it, even though he had all his stock in it.
Because he knew the crash was coming.
Yeah, he knew it, or it
So
could
he-
happen. And
that's
that's what you always
right.
do.
That's why he became. That's why he was one of the few .com bubble survivors, and that's why he, got her. I talked to him. I tried to get him to buy my thing.
You talked to Mark Cuban?
Yeah,
When?
a couple months ago.
What was he like?
I just emailed him, but he responded very quickly
Wow.
because it was an interesting. It got his attention. I was like, okay, I got this Doge advertising platform. What do you think? And then he gave me a nice, long, detailed answer as to why he wasn't interested, but at least I got an answer.
So in short, no. After this, so in the end of this book, the answer is no.
But yeah, it was really cool that he responded. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I know. So I talked to a billionaire in the past year. So I like billionaires. People hate on billionaires a lot.
Dude, I think money is great, and I think people hate on trust fund kids, but like a long time ago, some guy worked his ass off in a fucking gold mine just so his son could be a trust fund boy rapist, and that's what he wanted. He wanted his son to be a frat boy racist, or rapist and racist, and that hated everyone, and he deserves that. And
Multi-generational.
that's why
wealth.
we shouldn't put frat boys away in jail for rape, because some guy worked hard for that position.
I get why people hate on trust fund kids. Yeah, 'cause they're just they just take up space, but yet they have privilege.
But they're not looking at the whole picture of who worked hard. That money didn't just come out of nowhere. Someone wanted their family to be taken care of, and they worked their ass off, and that's what they wanted. And so yeah, they're not alive anymore, but now their family is, and can't just hate their family for being in that position.
We love to do that. We hate on the rich.
We want to take down the people that, or humans want to take down the people that are big or better. It's just normal and natural, because either everyone loves like a good resurrection story, or everyone likes to feel better about themselves. I think cancel culture, it's mostly, if it's comics, it's in comics. Any comic that goes after another comic and tries to get them canceled isn't a comic, and they know that deep down. But that's because they can see that the person can do something they can't, and they want to get them out of there. So like a comic that say bans you from their club or something because that, you know, who's invested in a club, and they ban you from their club because they know that you're setting a bar for funniness. And if that bar is gone, then they might exceed more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about
jealousy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very. I've never had somebody try to come after me and call me bad words who was also like funny.
Well, you don't on stage you're different,
Maybe
you're
one.
not like as you're kind of a humble and you're quiet guy.
Super introverted to a fault, to where
Yeah.
people think I'm an asshole just because I don't talk. Like I was at a party last night and I was the most loser. I was the biggest.
Your Hans Kim party, right?
Yeah, I was. Like,
How was that?
It was good, but I wasn't good there. I was like, I'm striking out.
Why are you? What do you
This
mean?
party-
Trying to go talk to chicks or something?
Not at all. It's just that I didn't even try to interact with anybody. I was just standing there like a fucking piece of shit. Like, oh, yeah. Why did I come? I can't believe I asked.
That's cool.
to
You're
be-
standing in the corner looking like a
But
creep.
then they did karaoke, and then I felt better because I did karaoke.
You sang?
Yeah, and
That's
that's
so funny. You're like, I've been in the corner all day, just staring at everyone.
yeah. I did feel like a
I'm
fucking
gonna
weirdo.
I'm gonna sing a song. It's my favorite song, Britney Spears, "Toxic."
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
What song did you sing?
Not Taylor. Shania Twain song. Like Any Man of Mine.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, dog.
That's
Karaoke is one of my things.
What kind of, is that the kind of music you like?
I like all kind anything that's good. I like
How's the song go? In man of mine could do
pretty much.
my butthole.
It's pretty much how it goes.
Wants their boots under my bed. Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was good, and that brought me. That was like, okay, now I could hang out. But it was already by then. It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So I got
How many
shut
people?
down.
How many people were there?
Not that many, like 40,
Yeah.
30.
Hans Kim is the guy in town. You know, an autistic Asian. He's killing it.
Say what you want about him. I was barely allowed to be there. I was like, is Republicans allowed? And he was like, no. I was like, that's what I thought you would say. Well, okay. And he was like, are you just fiscally conservative or like?
Wait. You asked him if you can come.
Yeah.
And you said if I'm a Republican.
This is exactly the energy exchange. I was like,
text message.
in person. I saw him at the creek. I was like, yo, are Republicans allowed at your party? He was like, no. But are you fiscally? Are you just because like he knows I'm a nice
where
guy.
he was if it wasn't for a
He
Republican.
didn't want to not allow
Tony
me.
Hinchcliffe is a Republican, and he wouldn't have any kind of influence whatsoever if a Republican didn't give it to him.
See, that's the thing. He doesn't want to banish. He doesn't want to be like, no, you can't come, just because it's based on the fact that I'm a Republican. Because he would do that. He doesn't like Republicans.
Yeah.
He's very anti-GOP. But I was like, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not really a Republican. That was a
You
joke.
sold out.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Sold
I don't.
out.
I don't use that label.
I'm not a Republican, but
I'm
like,
a moderate. I use that label. If anything, fuck labels is the point.
no.
I'm worse than a Republican. Like I have worse opinions than just a standard Republican. But I don't use that label because it might change.
I'll vote
I'm
Republican
not some old man, you know.
only because Democrats are liberals. If Democrats were Democrats, it'd be different.
That's just right now.
But Democrats are now liberals, and liberals are trying to make it. You know, I used to be like, it's not really communism. You guys calm down. You're freaking out calling this shit communism. And then I see them like burning books at the elementary school and stuff. They're like, green eggs and ham, it's racist. I'm like, okay, it's communism. Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing. It's times are changing. We're in the new times of.
The times are changing.
Yeah, there's a lot of counterculture arising. There's like.
But that's the thing is like, you know, I
yeah.
chose, and you as well, a harder path in comedy with being the way we are, where we say the things that you say.
I wish I could be a clean comic. I would do it if I could. I could get laughs without saying bad things.
Yeah.
But I love saying bad things because it makes me wake up. That's what I like.
Well, a comic, I think, should be able to say, what's his name? Fucking the guy from SNL. That was on a good not Good Talk. He had like that talk show that like Patrice O'Neal always went on all the time. Comedy Cellar, dude. I'll come back to O'Neal.
Yeah, well, Patrice O'Neal.
Not Patrice O'Neal. Anyways, Colin Quinn. He always said that a comic would be he's in a space on stage where he can say everything that the audience wants to say, but they can't. You know, and to get mad at them for doing it is probably get mad at that aspect that someone can say something that you can't say. And people get angry at comics, they're the ones that really want to say some fucked up shit and really are racist and really are sexist. Those are the ones that are just like, hey, I want to be fucking sexist too. It's unfair he can, you know.
There's so many layers to that. Like, there's so many styles of comedy. Like, there is a style of like saying the truth, saying things that people don't want to say, but there's that. And there's also just pushing the envelope for the sake of that. And then there's the whole actually being sexist, racist, and doing it in a funny way. There's room for that too. If you're a racist person, you shouldn't not be allowed to be that. You're allowed to be racist.
Yeah.
We live in America.
Yeah, I know. You should allow.
And it's funny. Racist people are funny.
Yeah, if you can do it in a funny way.
Some of them. Not all.
What Tony did that he got in trouble with, he fucked it up, I think, because he was so
just one word.
He was one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna go up there and say filthy fucking jank, blah blah, like, you want to say it nicely.
Yeah.
You want to say
You
it.
didn't smile afterwards.
No,
That's the
you'd be
problem.
like, give it up for
gotta
the
wink
filthy fucking jank. That would have been nicer and funnier. But if you're like angry and saying angry shit, no, then it's bad. But you have to go up there and be like, you guys are race traitors. Like, just something where it's so sweet that you wouldn't think that you would say that.
It was out of context, as it always is.
There was no contrast.
I watched the whole set, and he didn't lose the crowd. He lost them for a second, and then he got them right back.
You know, Gary Faust was the one that recorded Tony's whole set.
I love that set. That set was actually inspirational because that was before I moved here. I already bought my house, but I was like waiting to move here because it was being built at that time.
Tony's funny as fuck, dude.
He is funny. That set was great. I like that set.
Tony, I saw his like special or whatever. It didn't do as well as all his.
I saw that.
All his peers.
I saw that one.
But like I thought it was great. Like, because it was really funny and really dark. Like
the abortion bit, yeah.
He's very
abortion.
Yeah, he's very funny, and
I'll tell him you said that.
He knows that or I hope he knows that I respect him.
I saw him on the street a week ago, less than a week ago.
Yeah, and you asked about me, right?
That's right, I did. That is relevant to it's not all about me, actually. Yeah, I didn't want to like talk about myself.
How'd that go?
But it did involve you. So, hey, I can tell the story.
He knows your name now, right?
So he goes,
hey, Timmy, hey.
I don't know if he said my name. He's just like, hey, you're that guy. You're fucking, you were funny.
Hey, you're that guy right there.
Yeah.
And then you said, hey.
Yeah, I don't remember him saying my name. He was like, hey, like he was excited to see me.
Yeah.
And he was with his girlfriend, and I met her, and she's cool. And I was like, where's
Who's
your
his new girlfriend?
I forgot her name. Starts with an S or something. I don't want to fuck it up because I don't remember, but she's cool, whatever. And I was like, where's your Corvette? He was like, I don't know. It's either this way or this way. I was like, well, you got to know where it is. How do you not know where your car? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, mine's right there. And I pointed out my car. This is my Miata. And he made short jokes.
Yeah. I remember hanging out on top of his apartment building. And he was like, I drive here to hang out. This isn't where I live. As if I didn't know. It's like he's so protecting himself. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, but
he gets cagey. Yeah, I would too. I get cagey, and I'm not him. But I do shit to put myself out there.
And then you said, hey, what's up with Ryan Joseph not being allowed in the Vulcan?
Pretty much. So the only reason I did that is because I had his attention. I didn't go up to him and bug him.
No,
he was giving me praise and attention. He was like, okay,
yeah.
I'll cash in on this.
Yeah.
I was like,
and why didn't he? And why? What was his like? What did he look like when you said it to him? When he was just like, it was the same reason.
Well, he was caught off guard. He was like, what are you, Ryan Joseph? Why are you like? I was like, so what about? So do you like Ryan Joseph? He was like, what? like he didn't know what the fuck I was talking about at first. I was like, remember Ryan Joseph? He's like, yeah. It's like, do you like him? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you know why he's banned from Vulcan? It was like, no. That's all. That's pretty much it. I don't.
Yeah.
I was like,
He wouldn't tell you.
Okay, there was more. I was like, he's just really bummed that he's not allowed to perform there. And it was like, I would be remiss to not ask you that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
It was
what,
very.
And what did he say? You said there was more.
There was nothing that he said other than I don't know.
Yeah. It's I have to move from Austin because of this, because who knows when Rogan will open up his club, and because of that, I there's no point in being here really if I'm not allowed into the clubs because of other.
Yeah, you got to focus on the future clubs. Don't let the past shroud you.
Well, it's the present.
Don't let it spoil
the present. You mean?
No, Joe Rogan's club is still not in the present. That's why I mean like future clubs opening up. Don't fuck up your.
Tony's gonna run Joe Rogan's club. You know that.
Okay, so that's a new chance for you to build a new bridge. But if you keep walking around with this shroud of cancel whatever the dude in the article said, like he worded it nicely. You have a complex of like persecution complex. That's nailing it on the head.
I have
you
been
absolutely do.
I am like Jesus.
And you are fucking like Jesus. You walk around with a cross.
I am. You think I asked for this burden?
I
have fucking holes. This is makeup on my hand. I have holes in my fucking hands. I'm like Jesus.
That's the fucking shitty part about being talented as you are. You have this. You're a great comic, but
Have you ever been banned from a club?
Not from a club.
Yeah.
Nah, I've been banned from an open mic. Whoopee.
Have you ever been banned from 2 clubs?
Yeah, but okay, so it happened.
So can you wait. Logic. So can you admit that you don't know what it feels like?
I know what it's like to be persecuted.
But from like this aspect, something that you love doing.
Not to that level.
So you can admit that you don't know what I feel like and what it feels like to go through that.
Not 100%, but I can. Empathize.
In order to.
Doesn't mean I can't empathize just because I haven't been banned.
That's true.
Specific. I totally know what it's like to be a canceled comedian.
When were you canceled?
I've never been doing anything big enough to be canceled, but I know what it's like to be looked at as like, oh, he's one of those.
To be looked at is different.
Sure.
Where like you're not allowed.
I guess
into a space, and there's a psychological element to it where it tortures you.
Of course.
There's these spaces out there that don't want you, and it fucks with you. And I know eventually I'll be able to accept it, but like I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Mm-hmm. There's spaces where I can't go into because of lies that weren't even true. It'd be different if I'm like, I fucked up. Well, I mean, yeah. And it's just people that tell me things like that, Tim, and I understand where you're coming from. You're trying to give me advice, but people that don't know what it's like, don't know what it's like. And when you feel like you've been ostracized from your community, it fucks with you. But you know what? I've been keeping my head down. I haven't really talked about it as much until the last 2 podcasts. But like, I haven't been
fully ostracized from my community. But that doesn't mean I'm a stranger to the whole like perspective of what it's like to be canceled. I'm a champion of true comics that are funny and are canceled for shitty reasons. And I'm not trying to give you advice. I can't convince you one way or the other to get that out of your head.
Well, it's a feeling. It's more of like you feel like, I'm not wanted, and I didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm not, and that's fine. But who cares if I'm not wanted? Really, what it is that I love stand-up so much, and I looked at Austin as like the place, the savior, like the place to go to get away from Chinafornia, where I could perform, and then it's been taken away.
Exactly.
And I have to accept that. You're right. You have to accept every bad thing that happens to you in life and then move on. Me, it takes a little longer for me to accept things. I'm like that for some reason. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that can just be like, it happened.
Well, of course. It's a big,
And it is a big deal to me. And I guarantee you that if, Tony Hinchcliffe wasn't allowed at the Vulcan or the Creek or anywhere, he would feel the same way.
Totally. Anyone would. Anyone would feel terrible. It would fuck me up.
Yeah. So, but I do appreciate.
I'm just trying to be like as a PR rep, what I would do for you to clean up.
Well, dude, I don't go online and say I'm banned. I don't. I talk about it to people, but like, I don't. Like, am I supposed to act like it's not true?
Right, but if you're the one bringing it up all the time, people are gonna. You're continuing you're adding on to it.
Energy of not
the
being
drama
allowed.
Continues anytime you mention it. Anytime you open your mouth about it, you're giving it life.
But drama is
not gonna follow you if you don't bring it with you.
But it's not drama when it's real life that's happening to you.
I 100% know what you're saying.
So if you ever like get your leg cut off or for some reason, I'm gonna be like, you know what, you need to like stop bringing this up. Even though it follows you around.
No, that's a good. That is a good. That. Why would you? What? Because you can't heal a broken. You can't heal a.
No, you can't fix it or anything.
So why would you bring it? Why would you bring around the negativity of like losing your arm? Because it's over. Like don't you like when you see people on Reddit or whatever like looking at it as a positive or making the best of it?
Yeah, I do make the best of it though. That's the thing. Is like I make the best of it while I bitch at it because I go outside of Texas and I do my shit. But like I don't like it, and I you know what it is, Tim? It's the sense of injustice, and it wouldn't even be if it was just me. It's the sense of injustice that there's people out there canceling comics, and I can't stand it that they do that. That they stop comics from performing comedy, and not just me.
Yeah.
Like it was so fucked up what happened to Louis, but he's coming back, and he started talking about it. He would talk about it when he had to because it's there. Everyone knows it in town though, dude.
I just know.
And when you feel like everyone thinks that you're this way, you want to talk about it and give your side of the point because no one ever listened to my point of view.
Well, they will when they need to. When they ask, if you're only gonna say I'm banned, you gotta say I'm funny. I'm funny.
I don't have to say that. They know that. Sometimes.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have to literally say it. But that should be your mindset. That should be what your aura presents. You shouldn't present this persecution attitude. You should present this. I'm just here to hang out.
So if everyone thought that you like
not
raped,
here to bring
like,
drama.
what if everyone thought you raped like 20 black children, and you just be like Tim? Who cares if they think that? Just walk around and just hang out, Don't address and don't say that you didn't do that, Tim.
I would not address it.
But wouldn't you have this like paranoia where you would feel like everyone thinks that?
Yeah.
That's where it is.
What can you do? People are going to spread rumors sometimes. And you could, if addressing things is playing into, that's what they want you to do. If it's not true.
You could be right. I'm usually wrong. About everything.
This is every topic.
I'm usually wrong.
It's an individual. It comes down to case by case. I think.
The reason why I'm in this state is my own mind, probably my own brain. And so me choosing to act a certain way with my brain, what we go back to, we can't fix a broken brain.
See, because I know that you didn't do anything wrong, but since you bring it up so often that I didn't do anything, it takes up real estate in people's perception of you. It's like, oh, he has this drama or something because he talks about it on his podcast. But if you're just known for being a chill guy that hangs out and is funny, they will bring you back. They'll forget about why you were. You're right. They will completely oh wait, why were you banned? Oh yeah, something stupid happened that wasn't true. Okay, yeah, fuck that.
I've always been like this since I was a kid. Really, I think because I came from like an abusive household. I've always been like really pessimist and easily focus on the negative of life.
Same.
And I would never really look at the positive,
Yeah, it's tough to maintain that.
It never feels right. It doesn't feel right because it feels like you're denying.
Really?
When some good shit's happening, I mean, sometimes I'm in a really good mood, but when good shit's happening, that's great. But then you always feel like it'll go away. And it's a problem for me, and I don't know how to fix it. I mean, there are tools that I don't take advantage of because life is life, and life gets busy, and there, you know, and it feels like you should be doing a million things at once, and you don't choose the right thing. And sometimes it feels like I'm just out of control. I have no power. But anyways,
At least you know that you're a comedian. At least you like. It takes people. Even there's so many people that don't even have any purpose in life. So it's
you have to have a purpose.
You gotta count your blessings. You gotta be like, okay, you know what? There's always a positive. There's always gonna be more comedy clubs. There's gonna be people like me that will be your advocate.
Yeah, no, you have been my advocate more
up.
than. But hey, you know what? Have you ever been able not to get your dick up when you fucked a girl? That's a question I want to ask you.
Yeah, at least once.
Well, when was that?
Let me remember last time, because it's been a while since that. Okay, it was when I was like drunk.
When you're drunk?
So who cares? I'm pretty virile still.
You've never been like that, like into a girl where you're just like, oh my god, I like her so much. I hope I don't fucking like.
The boner part never had a problem.
Okay.
The getting up part is fine. Like sometimes I've lost it because it's like monotonous. It's like,
Well, do you watch a lot of porn?
In certain times of my life, I've been down there.
Yeah, that's when
I go down rabbit holes.
Literally.
But I'm pretty soft core. I don't like porn, like the motion heavy kind. Like, I'm not into that.
You watch like shit with Luther Vandross playing?
I don't know what the fuck that is. I just
with saxophones and stuff.
Not even. I don't even need video. I'm just a very simple, like, nudity is all it takes. And just stories. Ooh, actually, now that I'm into like just hot stories.
You know, I used to write erotica, right?
No, I think you mentioned that.
All right, guys. It's time to dig yourself out of that winter hibernation. It's about time because it's been time. It's time to dig yourself. It's time to stop springing around and get sprung and get that summer heat up with a big, hard penis. And the reason I say that is because you need to do that with Blue Chew. That's the only way to do it. That's right. The episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. If you take a tablet from Blue Chew and you know that if you go into the bedroom and you're about to just fucking tear out the insides of a woman, you're going to go far in life, okay? Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets. It's just like gummy bear vitamin C chewables when you're a kid. Think about it like that. And it's at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead and be ready whenever an opportunity arises. You can take it, and it's like when you take it, you won't get hard unless you're stimulated. That's the thing about it. Process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy with a limp penis. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. Do you think it's true that women find that confidence is the sexiest thing? They always say that.
Yeah, I think that's big. There's a way to fuck it up, though. That's the thing. That's why it's so beautiful or respectable when it's done right. You don't want to be confident for the wrong reason, like look like it could so easily fall off the...
I find that nothing is more like... women don't respond to... Nothing is more effective is when you're just like totally sure that the girl wants you, and you can do that better when your penis is hard and it's sticking out and they can see it.
Oh, you mean literally big dick energy?
Yeah, literal big dick energy. Because how is she gonna know you have big dick energy unless your pants are like protruding out? That's what they want, big dick energy when they say. So if you can benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Joseph at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code Joseph, JOSEPH, to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. It's actually a really great service, and I have a lot of friends that are really into it. They like it a lot.
Yeah, sorry I didn't know you were still doing the ad, or else I wouldn't have like
No.
thought about it.
No,
so.
no, it's true. It's totally true and fine.
No, that was a good read.
Blue Chew tablets are very like.
So they don't just give you a boner out of nowhere. You have
I
to
swallowed it when I took it. I swallowed it by accident, so it wasn't. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
You're supposed to chew it up, or you're not snort it, but just chew it up, and then you get like the hit you're looking for. But it still worked because I noticed I was like had more like animal passion come out. Like I was just like, where you're just like grabbing the girl's head and throwing it through the wall and stuff. Real love making. Yeah. But anyways, so you have any shows coming up,
I
Tim?
totally forgot you were going to do an ad. I was like, yeah, that's funny. Shows coming up? Nah, I don't think so.
No?
My KillTony episode drops tomorrow.
Oh, shit. Are you excited?
That's something to look.
Did you do really well?
I did better than the last one.
Which jokes did you use? You don't have to say the jokes. Just
I did one about Louis, which is an old one.
I like that one.
And then I tried to get a whole joke about the Klan opening doing a corporate gig for the Klan, and I couldn't get all the way through it, but I got through it. The set was better than the last time, but also the set isn't really that important.
But Tony and Redman like you.
Like the interview was fucking fun.
Why was it fun?
Ari was there, so I was just...
And you brought up gold too, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing that made it memorable, is that I brought a fucking...
How much was the gold worth? You said $20,000?
$10,000. I brought a very expensive prop, and I was waiting for the opportune time to take it out. I kept trying to hint at it. I was like, Jews, we all have gold.
Yeah.
They're like, so you're still rich? I was like, no, well, I'm very cash poor. All my money's locked up in gold. And I was trying to think of a reason
that I keep in my pocket.
So I couldn't fucking think of a reason. I was like, here's my gold, but like as they were getting me off stage, I was like, yeah, here's my fucking gold, by the way.
Did you
just threw it on the table?
That'd be funny. Here's my fucking gold.
And walked off, and they're like, whoa, come back. Like, and then I talked about it, and then they...
So what was the thing that made you feel like it was time to pull it out?
Because I couldn't... nothing came up during the interview that was organic to take it out. They didn't ask if I had it on me. So the interview was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, here's my gold, by the way, as I was walking off stage.
That's so funny.
Here it is, by the way, my fucking gold. And I left it up there for the rest of the show.
Did Tony go, oh?
A lot happened. I don't remember exactly. A lot happened.
It's so crazy you left it on stage during the rest of the show.
And I had to ask for it back.
Who gave it to you back?
The guitarist, I believe. Yeah, one of the band members
pocketed
it.
$10,000.
He's like, give it to me, and he pocketed it.
I want to see. Can I see what it looks like later? With $10,000 in gold. I want to start buying gold. You need to learn. Are you full Jewish or half Jewish?
Half.
I need you to teach me how to be rich.
I'm very new to it.
Well, you're half.
Yeah. And as soon as I got off stage, the owner of the place, a couple days after, Secret Show, came up to me and was like, yo, dude, never bring gold anywhere. Don't ever do that. Use fake gold. If you're going to do that, don't ever advertise. I was like, no shit, it's a bit.
But why even bring fake gold if you're going to do it?
Yeah, exactly. I like to I like to take high risks on stage that are like memorable, one-time thing.
No, that was great because.
But he kept lecturing me. He's like, dude, I've been rich my whole. Never do that. I was like, okay, but it was how he introduced. If I didn't do that, he wouldn't have ever given a fuck about me.
Yeah, no, I think it was smart because KillTony. What is most important is your sets and the interview. And if you have a good interview, do you use your same persona you use when you perform?
I use the only persona I have, which has been how I've been doing it.
Even when you talk to like
years.
Tony?
Yeah,
like, so what? Like,
I would even be doing it right now. You could sometimes hear it. I slur my words in a way.
Yeah,
that's not a bit.
Well, no,
that's my performance, fucking persona. Yeah, I was doing that.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You should act. You could be an actor, and with especially with that act, like I could see you in Goodfellas.
I would love to be an actor.
It's easy. You just go to Actors Access, sign up, and I can show you how to do it.
I don't give a fuck about it. I don't want to, but I would love to.
It helps your stand up. It helps
100%
with people coming to your stand up.
I would be an actor, but I don't. The process of becoming one sounds worse than being a comic.
I know it
Sounds
is.
horrible.
Well, really, just you can't.
I would do it though.
Ever since I started stand up, like I don't care anymore with auditions.
I want to
I'll
be
do
a
it.
Pauly Shore type actor who just gets them. They come to you. I don't want to audition.
Yeah, well, he had it all set up for him since the beginning because of his connections and how he grew up.
Right. But he had to. Yeah. Whatever. That's just one example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man.
But the point is, it
looking
went
forward-
very well, I think, based on how many people came up to me afterwards. It was way more than the first time. And I got secret show. It was just really exciting. I felt like I got laid or whatever. Like I felt it was such a highlight,
and
such
we're
a
all,
peak.
Yeah, and the best part too is like when the comics respect you, right?
A couple did, yeah. A couple
Yeah.
did. A couple I could
That's
tell.
what I like more.
People
than
get
audience.
jealous. People get very jealous.
Yeah.
So I
they
was, yeah.
Yeah, and it can fuck with you, especially like I'm an addict. So like addicts are very selfish and egotistical by nature, and when you have people coming up to you telling you you're great, it's not good for you.
It's
And
not.
You
but
have to know how to
you know,
handle it. I'm
I've-
still learning.
You should not let the compliments go to your head, and you can't let the hate go to your heart.
Yeah,
That's what Dennis Prager said.
I'm good at not letting the hate go to my heart, I suppose. Only when but unless it stops me from doing so. But it doesn't really stop you. You go around.
See, like
You know,
I've been doing it long enough where I get praise. Like I'm used to like, okay, good you, you're so funny, blah blah blah. Like I've been doing it long enough where like I know that boost is very short lived for me.
What is your plans with stand up?
I want to become a headliner. Like
what is your idea for
like
success?
Christina P. What she's doing right now is my dream.
To marry a guy like Tom Segura?
Her level of success is what I would love. That's my dream.
Why her level of success?
She's a headliner, national headliner. Like
It's interesting you picked her.
You
though.
could always be above her. Like because it's kind of realistic. Like she's a successful podcaster, successful stand-up. She has a great thing going right now.
Yeah,
Like her life, I would love.
fucking Tom.
And I guess she was just in my head because she just recently was in top. She just recently did.
She's actually very funny, you know. I always wonder about how they made that work, Tom and her, as to
How they are still making it work.
Well, they came up together at the same level, and that's the difference. It's like neither
Yeah.
one of them was funnier than the other.
He used to look up to her. He used to be intimidated by her
Yeah.
as a comic because she ran shit that he was new, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'd probably get so much pussy offered to him on a silver platter. He has to be like, nah, I'm married. I have kids.
Yeah, that's what you think. Who knows what they really do? Who knows what anyone really does? Because everyone has flaws. Everyone's killed at least one person. Everyone, you know.
But I think he has the best. He has the right temperament. Sorry to be serious.
Well, you have to meet the guy first.
I
But
could just tell. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
You gotta meet people. I guess.
Rogan's the nicest guy I've ever
That's why I
met.
don't want to meet Rogan. You never meet your heroes because I could have met him just last night.
He'll still be your hero because he's.
I know.
No, you
I
can
just
see
don't want to fuck it up.
when I first started hanging out with him every week, I saw why people loved him so much.
Because he is kind of my hero.
Because he is, just so warm and like you just want like to talk to him. You want him to talk to you. There's something about him, and it's and you know what helped? Like Tony actually taught me a lot about how to shut the fuck up and just listen.
Absolutely.
And but you just want his attention and shit, you know, like that. It's just like, because it's your, and you look, I look up to him as well. Everyone does. I look up as far as like an supreme superior or the artist that I would like to be. I look up to, you know, Chappelle, and I look up to Rory, and I look up to what's his name, Bill Burr, and stuff like that. But not that much. I don't really look up to anyone to the point where you can say I really look up to them. You know, I just respect them a lot.
Yeah.
I even respect Tony a lot. Yeah. So you want to be just a successful headliner. That's my idea of success.
That's one level of, that's a more graspable, like that's an answer. I'm sure there's something loftier in my brain, but that's the most realistic thing I could conjure.
Yeah. What is your tell the listeners your handle on
Oh yeah,
Instagram?
so my stage name is Timmy Gusto. That's like my permanent because I used it on KillTony.
Wouldn't it be Gusto?
Yeah, you could say it either way. I like saying it different ways depending on the day.
So it'd be at Timmy Gusto.
Timmy Gusto, Gusto, very easy to spell. Hopefully,
At Timmy Gusto.
at Timmy Gusto.
And what's your?
But my real name is Tim Weichselbaum, and I use that for my podcast still.
And that's your YouTube page and podcast. So that is W-E. Let me see if I spell it right. Weichel.
You missed one.
All right, spell it.
But you're close. Weichsel. And the rest you probably would have got.
Baum.
Yeah, you would have got that part.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it in the notes of this channel so people can go check out your page and stuff. He is a good guy. I liked him, and you guys should follow him. And until next time, probably be back at Faust TV Studio, or I might keep doing this. Who knows? I like it over here. All right. Talk to you later. Goodbye.